Hi, I'm Pratibha. I'm a HR professional, presently working at ABB as Hub HR Business Partner. In my role, I work closely with business leaders across 10 countries spanning India, Middle East, Europe, and South America. In my role, I enable teams deliver 2x business outcome. I'm a passionate coach, helping people grow, building high performing teams, and creating workplaces where people feel they are valued and included. Today, I'm here to share my career restart journey. What makes it special to me is that I returned to the workforce after 7 year long career break. It's been 4 years since I restarted. Today, I'm in a role where I can create value and impact at a global level. But my comeback was much more than returning to work. It was about rediscovering my self confidence, a renewed sense of purpose, and the value that I could bring. My career break happened because of health challenges that required treatment, recovery, and rest. At that time, I thought it's going to be a short break. I'll return to work very quickly. But I never imagined that it would turn into 7 long years. I always wanted to come back. Every year, I would think I'm ready now, and life, of course, had other plans. First, it was my health, then family responsibilities, and later the journey into motherhood, which of course brought its own challenges. All those years, the desire to return to work was always there. I missed learning, contributing, and being part of a workplace. When my son turned one, it was my husband who encouraged me to start thinking about it seriously. His belief, his support gave me the confidence really to take the first step. Now, when I look back, really, it's that small step which became a beginning to a whole new chapter in my life. Comeback wasn't easy, of course, but the biggest challenge during my restart journey was not really external, it was my mental block, which I had created for myself. I had worked for 9 years before I took a break, and after being away for 7 years, the gaps suddenly started to feel enormous. And I kept wondering if I still belong in this professional world. Once I decided to come back, of course, the question was, where do I start? I made my own plans, started to list the skills I needed to update, getting used to the new ways of working, what are the latest industry trends, and so on and so forth. But when I got the opportunity to get back to ABB, I was super thrilled. I took it with both hands, with, of course, a lot of excitement. As I returned to work, I often started to question myself. The 7 year break combined with the memories of my past accomplishments, career accomplishments, sometimes made me wonder, could I still perform at the same level as in the past? I so vividly remember it was within few weeks of coming back to work. It was a large gathering at office, and a few of my colleagues whom I had known previously, they introduced me to others, saying she set a bar high. She was the inspiration for us to pursue HR partnering role. And coming from people who were now way ahead of me in their career journey, somewhere even in global roles, I started to feel like an imposter. While it was actually a big compliment, I had difficulty seeing it that way. A few lessons that I quickly learned in these beginning weeks of my comeback journey was that I had to let go of comparing myself with who I was in the past before the break. What really helped me through this was accepting that I needed to return with a beginner's mindset. I had I had the experience, of course, but I also had to be ready to unlearn. I also needed to learn new things, be curious, ask questions, and start fresh. One step at a time, I say I was able to rebuild my confidence. But what made the biggest difference when I look back is the constant support of my family, colleagues, mentors, my coaches, the way they stood by me every step of the way, the times that they gave me reassurance when I always doubted myself was very much needed. Then I say came my biggest breakthrough moment. I had finally stopped to feel like an imposter. Within 2 years of returning, I moved into my current role where I'm supporting business leaders across multiple countries. And in less than 1 year into this role, my scope expanded from 8 countries to 10 countries. What I'm most proud of isn't this scope expansion or responsibility that came my way. It is more of, I would say, the shift in mindset that I was able to bring in. And for the first time, I had stopped to see myself through the lens of career break. I started seeing myself through the impact I could create, I was creating. And that journey, from self doubt to self belief, I think has been the most rewarding part of my comeback. Many people see career break as a gap. To me, I would say career break is not a gap. Even when um, you're away from work, you're still learning life skills. And when I look at what transformed me during my career break, I would say two skills that I learned. One, of course, was resilience, and the second, empathy. Those 7 years included health challenges, which I spoke about, family responsibilities, which were there, of course, but a tough and emotional journey to motherhood, which was filled with a lot of uncertainty, pain, and loss. What it taught me was how to keep moving forward even when life is not going according to the plan you had. These experiences also made me understand that everyone is carrying their own story, their own challenges, battles which we are fighting silently. As a HR leader today, that empathy helps me connect with people in much deeper and meaningful ways. I listen more carefully, I understand different perspectives, and I'm able to support people with greater compassion. And the resilience that I built during those years today helps me navigate not just life, but challenges and change that comes at work. My message to women, and I would say even men who have taken career break, is simple. Don't let your career break define who you are. If I could really offer three pieces of advices for those of you who are considering restarting your career, I would say one, recognize the strengths that you have gained. We all continue to learn, grow in every phase of life, whether it's caring for family, overcoming your personal challenges, managing a household, navigating uncertainty, or whatever it has been. Remember that we are constantly building skills, and those skills do matter. Second, keep learning and take the first step. Focus on continuous learning, build on your strengths. And important is that you trust your ability to adapt. The first step is going to feel uncomfortable, but embrace it. I truly believe that growth only begins when we step outside the comfort zone. Third, build your support network. Find your allies, family, friends, mentors, coaches, sponsors, people who can really give you that encouragement, that perspective, and confidence which you will need the most. Very important, I would say, in this journey, don't compare your journey with anyone else's. We all have different circumstances, different timelines, and paths that we have chosen. Your journey is unique as you are, and that's what makes it more meaningful. One of my mentors once said to me, and this was the time when I was having my self doubts, he said, a career break is only one chapter of your life story. Don't let it be the headline. Those words, I really carry them even today because what I have learned through this journey is pause in career doesn't mean pause in your growth. Sometimes these experiences which take you away from work are the very experiences that prepare you to return much stronger, much wiser, and with a greater sense of purpose. So, take the first step. Your story isn't over, and in many ways, the best chapter is still ahead of you.